In this video, we're going to cover how to expand your business from the UK to Europe or from Europe to UK, vice versa. We will cover all the tax compliances needed and understanding of the Amazon FBA, IOSS and OSS and quite a bit more. So stay tuned. In this video, you're going to know more of the taxes and responsibilities growing your business from UK to Europe or Europe to UK. Let's roll in.
What tax and compliances should I be aware of while I am growing my business UK to Europe?
There are a few taxes you should be aware of. Now, depending on the business model that you have, are you going to be drop shipping your products from China to Europe while you're based in the UK using a limited company? Or are you going to be shipping your product directly from China to Europe, selling in multiple platforms? So there will be a few things that you need to know. It could be number one, related to VAT. Number two, related to the actual central system for European VAT, which is the OSS, or it could be related to import OSS, which is the IOSS.
What tax and compliances should I be aware of if I am running an e-com business from Europe to UK?
So now you're asking, if you have a business based in Europe, you want to supply the products or services into the UK. Well, you asked me previously, what was the scenario from UK to Europe? So vice versa. Now, what you have to be careful in the UK is very simple and completely known fact to everybody is the VAT. Now, do you meet the VAT straight away or you don't? So if you have a physical based product and you want to supply from Europe, from any of the countries in Europe, and you want to store the product into the UK, so from the day of storing the product, you will be liable for the VAT registration and start filing on a regular basis, depending is a quarterly or a yearly VAT in the UK. Other thing to bear in mind is that VAT registration type. Is it going to be a flat rate, and what kind of percentage you're going to have to pay, so you know what to charge your clients, the exact rate, so you don't start making less profit than you're predicting. Okay. And import tax and duty is also important for you to know up front, so your cash flow is healthy, you're ready to pay the bill during the import when you have some product landing in the actual port for the UK warehouses.
Explain what is PAN European FBA program by Amazon.
So PAN European FBA program was introduced by Amazon quite a few years ago. It's simply before Brexit, UK was part of the European VAT system. And if you were to ship, say for example, one product in one of the warehouses in UK, you could potentially have your Amazon distributing this product equally to the rest of the warehouses they have in Europe. It could be among 5 other countries or 7 other countries in Europe, including Italy, France, Spain, Germany, Poland, and Czech Republic. Now, what happened past Brexit or post-Brexit is that UK separated. We had a divorce from the Europe, and we separated. So the Pan-European FBA program split a little bit. What the PAN means on a typical basis is all. PAN means it's like a circle, everything in one place. That's what Amazon is referring to. Okay. Now, European VAT, meaning that Amazon platform has got multiple European countries like Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, or Poland and Czech Republic. Combined 5 to 7 or 8 countries together is a pan-European VAT program. Ideally, in Amazon example, if you shipped one product to Spain or say Germany, for example, and you then want to sell in rest of the countries, you could ideally send a lot more of the stock of the product and could ask Amazon to sell in all the countries with a Prime badge, with the actual possibilities of getting sales from all 7-8 countries in Europe. What would happen in that case? You would then be liable for the VAT in all the countries because you asked Amazon to store and ship the products from those countries straight away using the Pan-European program. So that is ideally a Pan-European program. The difference is that you are shipping or storing products in all the local countries that Amazon has listed, either 5 or 6 or 8 countries, rather than shipping the products from one location. If you ship the products from one location, that's not Pan-European FBA, that's a different program that we'll cover in a bit. So if you're shipping from one country, that would be related to OSS.
Shall I sign up for the PAN European program?
Ask yourself the question, is your business healthy or financially healthy enough for you to pay for all the tax and VAT, also the compliances that you're required to pay? If you don't have the actual feasibility in terms of like the cash flow, and if you don't think that all the country is going to do well, there's no need for you to sign up for Pan European FPA yet. You could try your market by actually signing up for one country, such as the largest country or largest population would be Germany. In Amazon case, you could try Germany first, see how that going, then eventually gradually scale. But if you're a business, not a startup, you're already successful, you've got decent cash flow, you've got the marketing and budget in place, you want to jump into Pan European FPA, brilliant. So the couple of things bear in mind is that have a tax company or accountancy company that who can take care of the actual challenges that you will have in Amazon Pan European FPA program, and also advise you throughout your UK limited company what taxes you will be liable for and how you can basically monitor and adjust in the UK for your European liabilities. Once you have those in place, let's roll and ready to go.
How to determine what marketplace is right for me in Europe?
How to determine the right places in Europe? The question would come by a couple of tools that you can use for Amazon. Now, there are plenty of tools out there, such as like Jungle Scout, Helium 10, and a couple of good tools out there. Even if those tools don't give you the actual reading of the Amazon product, sometimes some categories are not compatible. What you could do, you could go by a few common sense or commonly asked techniques that you could use. Number one would be do the research based on the keywords analysis of a product in Google PPC tool, the keyword analysis, and see the demand for that actual product based on the keyword. Also, you could go on the actual competitors analysis based on a few other tools and see how much demand. Now, look guys, depending on all that, I mean, if a product has got demand in any of the European country, that product will have demand in the rest of the European countries. That way I would do, I'd be like, I'd hit the biggest country first, or if the biggest country has got so many competitors, I'll go with another smaller country, maybe France or Italy compared to Germany, and see the competitors ratio. If the competitors are low, but obviously the demand is already there, as you discussed or predicted, I would jump into that country first. Country where the demand is high but the competition is low, this is where I would go first. This case or scenario, you wouldn't jump into Pan European FVA straight away. You would then basically choose one country, learn all the keywords and topics, and scale your reviews and ranking, then gradually keep scaling to other countries, the neighborhood countries, because it's very, very easy on Amazon to scale to multiple European countries if you have got dominating to one country.
What is OSS tax program in Europe?
The OSS tax program in Europe is a central program for Amazon or e-commerce sellers. Now, how they essentially work is by putting yourself in an example of a product-based business. Let's say you have a warehouse or office in Germany, and let's say you are based in the UK, you're a UK resident. Now, your UK company is selling products in Europe, and your central base in Europe is Germany. So what you could do, you could now, from Germany, you could ship your products from the German warehouse to rest of the Europe, 20 odd countries. So in this case, you would usually think prior to July 2021 that you'd have to register for VAT in every single country where you're meeting the threshold, right? But OSS has simplified it. OSS is saying that no, you don't have to go through all this headache anymore, which is in your favor. So you can simply supply unlimited amount of products, unlimited amount of volume in terms of actual sales and euro or digits in rest of the European countries, sitting in one location. And this is when you would sign up for the OSS program. You must have German VAT registration and filing all done and dusted and all consistently going out at the same time as the OSS. So without doing the German VAT or without having it in place, you will not be be able to get an OSS registration, because German is your central hub in this example. You could do the vice versa. You could, if you don't want Germany, you could do Netherlands or Spain, have one country, and then from there supply in rest of the European countries, including Germany and other countries, using OSS. So one location, multiple destination. That's OSS.
What is the key difference between OSS and IOSS tax for e-commerce sellers?
So IOSS and OSS are almost identical. Why I say that is because both of these systems focusing on one central system. OSS is for something owned by, for example, a foreign entity or foreign individual located in one location in Europe, but from that one location, you're distributing to rest of the Europe. That's OSS. Now, IOSS, you are not located in Europe at all, but you're distributing in whole of Europe. Why? Because if the product or service that you are actually exporting using the IOSS program into Europe while you're not based in Europe exceeds €150 as of today's date. If you're watching this video in future and the actual number has changed, this is a disclaimer. Check your numbers in the European website just to make sure you get the right numbers. €150 is the limit. Any products that you're supplying under the €150 from a different country into the European zone, you can do it through the IOSS program, which means that you have to register for IOSS and pay that VAT and duty for the products that you export to Europe. And that will be done by one of the accountancy firms like ourselves who can do that for you. And this means any product that you're sending, it will be including the duty and VAT already paid. And the customer based in a country like, for example, Lithuania, Romania, anywhere in Europe will not have to pay the duty when they receive the product from outside Europe. That's IOSS for you. OSS does the same, but it's based in a warehouse in Europe, while IOSS, same under €150, but based in a warehouse outside Europe. It could be from Moon, or it could be from China, or it could be from Philippines, you're sitting in a beach, or it could be from UK, from your garage. It doesn't matter as long as it's outside the European zone.
How to apply financial changes so I can make a profit selling in Europe?
If you're selling from the UK and you have a challenge right now because your business is scaling rapidly and you see massive opportunity in Europe, either due to the competition is low and demand is high, or because you have the goods from your research, you thinking that you can grow in Europe rapidly, it's just based next door, let's go and dominate. Now, how do you determine financially? Number one, do you have a marketing budget? Number two, if the budget is healthy, how are you going to distribute the budget? Do you have a team who can use this budget and the resources to convert it into the ultimate profit, having the A cost, which is the actual average cost of sale, within the limit, either 10% or 20%.
What are the financial adjustments to improve profit when selling in Europe?
Number one, have a very good logistics team and system in place. Number two, have a very good accountancy firm in place who understands all the tax complexity, cross-border plus nationally in the UK. Number three, make sure have a very good marketing team in place or individual in place who can look after all the PPCs in all these regions successfully to make a healthy profit.
Do we need an accountancy firm to handle my tax compliance in Europe or UK?
100% when it comes to Europe. If you to ask me just for the UK, I'd be oofing and buffing a little bit about depending on the size of the business. If you are going to Europe, you're already a successful, healthy business, and you know how complex European VAT is. It's like, you need to have certain tax representative in place, country by country. VAT rules in that country is different. VAT rules in the other country is different. How do you pay VAT later? Too many things, guys. Do you want this part of the headache while you're growing a healthy business, or do you want an accountancy firm to fully take care of it while you can just focus on what you do best and scale the business rapidly? That's what e-commerce is all about. You must have an accountancy team in place who can independently handle without any effort from your end. You must have this one when you want to scale the business in Europe. Thank you very much for watching. It was very engaging and would love to see you back again. Leave comment below and make sure to press the like button and subscribe for future hot videos like this, and I'll see you on the other side if you ever needed any advice in going into Europe and you've got some tax difficulties. Welcome to Talk to Us, guys.